Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? First things first, you have to excuse the audio. I'm not using my microphone because I'm driving to Bangkok right now. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So if you guys listen to my prediction video that I did a day before the fight, it looks like I was almost dead on. The only thing I was wrong about was Canelo getting the stoppage. I was kind of surprised that Callum was able to go the distance with Canelo Alvarez, especially considering the fact that he had pretty much given up after around the 6th round. And from that point, it was really just survival mode. And the interesting thing is, usually when fighters go into survival mode, they don't get hit as much. They make sure they don't get hit because they just want to survive. But in this case, Callum Smith was still getting hit while he was trying to survive. That's why it surprises me a little bit that he went the whole 12 rounds, but credit to Callum for surviving 12 rounds. So Canelo, he wins a unanimous decision, a one-sided unanimous decision against a good opponent. I mean, if we're comparing Callum Smith to a Rocky Fielding or even an old faded Sergey Kovalev, this was really a good opponent, especially if we're comparing his opponent to Gennady Golovkin's opponent, which was a fight that wasn't even worth covering. So overall, this wasn't the biggest challenge for Canelo Alvarez, but it probably was his biggest win against an undefeated champion, and it's because he won with no controversy. Because once again, all of Canelo's wins, all of his biggest wins before this fight, they all ended in controversy, especially if it was against an undefeated fighter. You got Erislandy Lara, you got both of the Gennady Golovkin fights, and of course the Mayweather fight that he lost. Canelo Alvarez, he looked extremely sharp in this fight. His jab was working great, his defense, the way he set up traps, his variety of punches, everything looked good when it came to Canelo Alvarez in this fight. I mean, the way Canelo Alvarez looked in this fight, you would think that he would have the confidence to take on all of the most dangerous opponents available. But as of now, he's not. Listen, I'm going to tell you just like Oscar said, Oscar De La Hoya that is, and Bernard Hopkins, by the way. In order for Canelo Alvarez to be considered great, he's going to have to beat the likes of a Demetrius Andrade or a Jamal Charlo. Now, since Canelo moved up to 168, I would also like to add the name David Benavidez. These are 50-50 type fights. These are the type of fights where you're going to have predictions and people are almost going to be close to split down the middle on who's going to win the fights. Those are the type of fights that we need to see Canelo Alvarez in. Now, he's been in fights like that before, like I said, against Golovkin, against Erislandy Lara, and against Floyd Mayweather. But he has to keep doing it. You guys have to remember, the NFL, they play for the Super Bowl title every single season. They don't play for that title every 10 years and get to say that they're the Super Bowl champion for 10 years until they play for it again. No, you have to play for that title every single season. And I'm telling you right now, Canelo versus Andrade, Charlo, Benavidez, those are like Super Bowl type of fights. Those are like gold medal type of matches in the Olympics right there. Callum Smith is definitely a good name on Canelo Alvarez's resume, especially beating him in his prime and undefeated. But let's be honest. Let's take Errol Spence, for example. Imagine if Errol, he never fought Terrence Crawford. Let's say Sean Porter was undefeated. He never fought him. Let's throw in one more name, Keith Thurman. Let's say all of these fighters are chasing Errol Spence. They've been chasing him for years. They're all in the same division. And Errol Spence, he has Terrence Crawford as his mandatory. Errol Spence, he decides to vacate that belt. He takes on an easier challenge. And then after that, he moves up to a higher weight class where the champions are Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, Avni Yildirim, and Caleb Plant. What do you think people would say about Errol Spence if he were to do this? Would it really matter if Errol Spence was fighting the #1 champion out of that bunch right there when he didn't fight the tougher competition at 147? This is exactly what Canelo Alvarez just did. Now his goal is to unify all of the belts against all of those fighters I just mentioned. But first, he has to fight this Avni Yildirim guy. So he'll most likely fight Yildirim next. Then after that, it'll either be BJ Saunders or Caleb Plant. Now, there's no doubt about it, Canelo Alvarez will definitely be a Hall of Famer. But he's not going to be pound for pound the best in the world until he beats the likes of the Andrades, the Charlos, and the David Benavidezes. You can't enter a tournament and say, look, I'm not going to fight this guy and that guy when it comes to this bracket. You can't do that and still expect to win the tournament. It's not going to happen. It doesn't work that way. And that's what Canelo Alvarez is doing right now. By way of contrast, there are many reasons why Terence Crawford is pound for pound #1, the best fighter in the world. But you know the other reason why he's pound for pound is because we know for a fact that if Canelo and Terence Crawford were naturally in the same weight class, we know that Canelo wouldn't fight Crawford. But we know that Crawford would be chasing Canelo Alvarez just like he's chasing Errol Spence. And that right there is the mark of a pound for pound champion. And I know I just really hurt a lot of you Canelo Alvarez fans' feelings. Y'all could go ahead and cry all you want in the comment section, but the truth is the truth. That's the way a pound for pound champion behaves. Like a Terence Crawford, not like a Canelo Alvarez. Terence Crawford has never vacated his title to avoid some dangerous undefeated mandatory who's been chasing him for years. And he's always going after the most dangerous fighters in his division. There's no opponent more dangerous than Errol Spence at the welterweight division. So most likely, Canelo Alvarez, he will fight Avni Yildirim next, unless something happens to Yildirim or he pulls out of the fight, and then we'll get BJ Saunders or Caleb Plant next for Canelo Alvarez. Hopefully, Demetrius Andrade, he gets that Billy Joe Saunders fight, but it's a good chance that Saunders may just go ahead and avoid Andrade again. Let's see how it all plays out. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. Listen, I'm telling you guys right now, in the world that we live in today, one of the most important things in life to have is a good lawyer. And I can vouch for this one right here because this brother is my personal lawyer. So if you need any type of legal representation, if you need legal advice, if you're having problems on YouTube, on your regular job, or whatever it is, contact lawyer, mediator, and business consultant Issa Israel's law firm. I've been knowing this man for a while, and he has been a true blessing to me. I'm telling you, he's affordable, he will work with you, but most importantly, he's not going to just treat you like a customer. He will have your best interest. So to get in contact with him, go to iilawfirm.com or consultsglobal.com. You know, I always say on this channel, pay-per-view fights should actually be free. And now the day has come where I'm about to hook you up with an app where you can watch all your pay-per-view events, boxing, UFC, etc. for free. I want to introduce Block TV, the best internet streaming television app out there. They provide over 3,600 channels, including HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, and Stars. They have a massive video on demand library with over 40,000 of the new release movies and the latest TV series. And it also includes DVR. So you're getting all of this for $34.99 a month. And once again, that includes free pay-per-view. So this one right here is a no-brainer, guys, because back in Las Vegas, I was paying damn near $200 a month for my cable. Those days are long gone now. So to get the app, make sure you guys go over to getblocktv.com and put in my promo code and get 30% off your first month. You also get a free month for every friend you refer. The promo code is DBNation. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Deki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodeki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.